Hello viewers, welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship, taking place the final round of the Porsche Cup at the fantastic Mount Panorama, also known as Bathurst. Been an interesting week at this track. We've seen lots of events going on this week. We've seen lots of incidents, lots of crashes, races starting with 30 cars, finishing with 15. It's all been going off, but this is the final race of the Porsche Cup. It has already been won. I think it's fair to say we probably all know who's won it. But that is the current table, current state of play. And it's not so much first that's to play for, it's second and third. So Lars isn't racing, I believe, and consequently it means he can't improve. Now David Noble just needs to finish and he will claim second place. However, David Noble, Steve Howells, Mark Christopher and Terry Howard have actually got it all to play for. The number of incidents that take place on this track, to be honest, any one of them could get the top 2 or top 3. So I think it's all to play for in this final round of the Porsche Cup. I've been watching pre-qualifying, it's fair to say, and yeah, it's been, let's just say there's been a few incidents, and people are struggling keeping the Porsche on track. So we're on board with Steve Howells at the moment. Steve Howells, who is 4th. Let's see how Steve does. He's pretty tidy in the Porsche, to be fair. And obviously we've got good old Jeremy joining the race as well. Ambrose in, Benny, Andreas, but Chris Bourne's also there. To be fair, I'm not too sure what Chris Bourne's going to do. He doesn't need to win. He doesn't need to race. He may do a few laps. He may quit. He may try and go from the back because actually it doesn't really matter from his perspective. Just a quick hello, Nico Camden. Hello, Johnny. I don't believe Johnny's racing, unless you're referring to somebody else. Mark, trying to qualify and my dog is fart. Okay, a bit of extra boost there, is it, Mark? That's fantastic. And Melvin, what a night, eSeniors and Le Mans at the same time. Well, yes. Obviously the Le Mans race is going to go on a little bit longer, but I should imagine some of the drivers in the Porsche Cup tonight will feel like a Le Mans race. So it's a 90-minute race. With mandatory pit stop, obviously it's going to have to be mandatory because you'll never get round on 1 tank of fuel, but you are forced to change your tyres as well. The pits open quite early on in the race, so what it means is you can actually have a different strategy. You could do an early jump, you could leave it till as long as you want and do a splash and dash at the end. Well, as much as a splash and dash as you want, really. But ultimately, it's open to evaluation. Drivers can pick when they want to pit and go from there. So Howells is now on his first hot lap. Obviously, all the drivers have come out. Nico there, just my fault, wrong series. Still carry on watching, Nico. Don't worry about it. I think Jonathan has raced this in the past, but I think his work commitments at the moment are overtaking his ability to race with us. So you'll see Jonathan probably racing at the weekend when he's not working, or possibly when he's got some time available. It's the final race next Sunday. Hi Krista, hi Johan. Welcome guys. Hopefully I'm coming across loud and clear, and the stream is nice and clear in 4K as well for yourselves. So we're on board with Steve Howells. What I'll do is I'll do a very, very quick lap guide as we go through what's going on in relation to this, and just give you an understanding of where we are. So he's coming to do his first lap here, his first running lap. He's coming towards the end of the lap, and what we'll do is we'll pick somebody else as they cross the line to go with them, really. So I think Mark Neutlings has just come out of the pits, so we'll ride on board with him, and we'll do a lap guide with him when he starts doing his flying lap. Okay, that's probably the best way of looking at it. So there's Howells. This is going to be his first sighter lap. It is a valid lap, I believe, and it was a 2:07.840. Okay, so Mark is currently coming out of the pits. He's going through the mountain section. We'll sit with Mark a little bit. We'll go to the cockpit view, and what we'll do is we'll do a quick chat about the a lap of what Bathurst is really all about. It's quite an interesting track, this, because if you're quicker than somebody but you're in the mountain section where Mark is here, it's very difficult to pass almost nigh on lightly. You just can't do it. But there's two little straights on here that really help. Well, obviously you've got the Conrod straight at the back, which is really great for passing, and you've also got the mountain straight, which is a straight leading up to obviously the mountain. But other than that, it's very difficult to get past somebody. Now, the other problem with this track is, whereas most tracks you've got a huge runoff area, as you can see in this section, it's all walls. What that means is if you do make a mistake, you're likely to become stationary across the track, and then it's going to be a free-for-all as all the cars pile into you. So it's so important to either, A, obviously not make a mistake, but I think it's also important to realise if you've made a mistake to try and get out of position and out of the situation you're in as quick as possible. If that means escaping to the pits, so be it. Otherwise, you will become a static roadblock. And obviously, certain people don't go in the chat, so that information cannot be relayed. Now, I do know the race the other day. I observed an incident, and I made the people in the chat aware. What that allowed is one of the racers to be aware that there's going to be a car across the track. They did actually avoid the car. So I think it's quite important sometimes to sit in and listen. So here we go. Mark's now going to do his lap. He's coming to the first corner, which is Hell Corner. And at the start, this is Hell. That's T1. And this will take him onto the first of the straights, which is Mountain Straight. So really on this one, you're looking to be on the left-hand side. Once you go over you'll see a dip, and then you can see the car in front disappear. That'll take you down. You want to be on the left-hand side. Usually braking between the 150. So around here. Swinging the car in, change down the gears, and get the power down halfway through that corner and drift the car to the left. And then you're looking to get the car to the right-hand side. Now you can go through this left band at full throttle. And that takes us into Quarry and the cutting. Okay, turn is 3, 4, 5 and 6. And this is Griffin's Mount. And that takes us through to Reed Park, which is turn 7. And then we get Frog Hollow, Sulman Park, and then John Hinksman Vista and McPhillamy Park. This then takes us into Skyline, which is also the S's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17. So a lot of corners you're navigating quite quickly here. This takes you to the downhill section, sharp braking point onto this right hand corner, and this takes us into T18, the Dipper, hard on the brakes, get the car in as quick as possible into Forest Elbow, and then you're flat out down the Conrod Straight. Now, some of the other cars you will probably max out. I don't think the Porsche maxes out down here, but you will get a good sense of speed. We're coming up to T20 over the top of this little crest. He'll take a left-hand side here where the grass disappears. He'll swing the car to the right on the full throttle. That's T20, and this takes us into the chase. Hard braking, cut the corner in at second gear, going across T21 and T22, and then that takes us down the final short straight into corner 23, which is Murray's Corner. And that's a lap of 2:05, 2:06, 2:07 for Mark. Okay, so that's a bit of a lap guide. Obviously, I won't be doing that again. Just that was just a bit of an intro into the lap here and how, you know, what the corners are all about. Some good lines were shown there from Mark, to be fair. I'm going to jump on board with Mr. Bourne. Mr. Bourne has got a 2:05.2. Need we say any more? And he's currently 2/10 up. So he is on a flyer, I think it's fair to say. Will we see a 2:04? Now, interesting. Chris Bourne could potentially do it. He's really pushing this car around here, so he's got great performance and great grip. But I will say I did see Chris go off before as well, so he is only human. Hi, Branko. Some more game sound. Okay, I can sort that out, I think. Okay, I've given it an increase. Give us a shout if that's improved things a little bit. Hi, Malcolm. There's 17 cars on track. A lot of park-ups in the mountain yet. I think that's a case of they've hit the barrier, they know the lap is spoilt, so they're trying to get back to the pits as soon as possible. 15 minutes at Bathurst is difficult for a quali. You've really got to try and get your quali done in the first couple of laps. Mainly because you'll start burning your tyres up because you will be pushing. So Chris is half a second up. He is going to be in the 2:05s here, Chris. So no one's near him. In fact, he's over a second quicker than the second place person at the moment, which is Mark Christopher. Six tenths up, good corner, good exit, and he's going to be on a 2:05, 2:04.6. That ain't going to get beat. No one's going to come near that. I'm going to switch to Derek, and I was going to switch to Derek. We had a bit of a glitch then. Derek's car was in the air. Oh, we're back with Derek now. Are we? No, Derek has had a disconnect, so he's going to be mad panicking now, trying to get back on. That's why, so Derek's car was in the air because he'd been disconnected, so he will be panicking to get back on now. He has been running some good lap times. So currently on board with David Gerrard. He's currently in 6th place. He is down on this lap time. One of the guys, Chris Bourne is 1/10 up. Mark Neutlings is 3/10 up, 4/10 up. So Mark's really going for it. Mark Christopher's just hit the barrier. No, he's just gone off track. I don't think he hit the barrier, but that's ruined his lap. He's currently second, Mark Christopher. But he's lost a lot of time on this lap alone. So we'll go back to David Gerrard, who is now up a little bit. And he's just decided to... He hasn't seen his friend Barry for a while. So he just wanted to visit Barry. Yeah, he is human, Nikos. I saw him go off before. So, yeah, he is human. And it looks like we've got Derek Bird back as well. Have we? Yes, we have. Derek Bird's come back, so he's probably not got real... He's just got enough time to get in and get a lap out. He's currently 7th. He's not a contender for the top 3, so I don't think it really matters whether he gets out or not. But we shall see anyway. Now we do have a familiar name back with us today. For those who don't know, Michelle was one of the founder members of eSeniors, Michelle Benchea. Raced with us last season. Unfortunately, things parted in a bad way between the group and Michelle. But I've seen him on the server the last couple of days, and it looks like he's going to be racing with us today. hopefully his misdemeanours that he had with us in the previous season have well and truly gone. Otherwise this could get quite messy. We'll wait and see, shall we? I'm reserving judgment, unfortunately. I don't want to sound awful, but yeah, you know what I mean. On board with Terry Howard. So Terry's a fan of the Porsche, to be honest. He's currently running though in 10th place, so a little bit down for Terry there. I thought Terry would have been a bit higher up. And also another driver who I thought would be higher up is Steve Howells as well. Steve Howells is currently 4th in the championship. He really needs to catch David Noble. I'm thinking about it, that is a name I've not seen. So Noble isn't racing. So basically, Steve Howells just needs to finish ahead of Mark Christopher, and Howells will get 2nd place in the championship. Well, there you go. The reality is, if it all goes pear-shaped and Terry finishes high up, Terry could get 2nd place in the championship. So that's the top 7 drivers, and out the top 7 we are missing two of the key contenders for the championship. So that's a bit of a shocker, that. Yeah, he's good, Johan. I mean, to be fair, mate, you're pretty good yourself. But yeah, there's a massive difference between the way he drives and the way I drive. That I know. And trying to keep up with the guy, it just seems consistent. And we've had Andreas has been disqualified. Now, I'm not too sure whether that means he's been disqualified from the race or just from qualification. Now, that is interesting. Because if he's been disqualified, it means he can't race. I do not know the reason for a DSQ. Interesting. Now I could clear that. In fact, I'm going to just go to the track because obviously I'm going to have to put some password information in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can clear the reversed at the top. Oh, wrong password. This is the problem when you don't know the password. Yeah, and what I'll do is I'll do a there you go. I've cleared his penalty. Right, so obviously we've got a bit of a wait, so what we'll do is we'll go to the So we're just waiting for the cars to get on the grid. There's a bit of a delay, which is not what I was expecting, to be honest. So I am just waiting for the cars to form on the grid. Qualifying is over. Qualification positions, and here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get myself set up to do the usual grid walk. And then we'll do a quick grid walk of all the cars that are currently taking place today. Okay, so just give me a second. I think I'm good to go. And what I'll do is I'll go down and we'll do the grid walk. So in pole position, we've got Chris Bourne. Second place, we've got Mark Neutlings. Third place, Mark Christer in the PWS. Terry Howard, who did get a fourth place in the green at Fairview car. Eric Dont in the red, gold and black. We've then got Hugh Morris in the pink and cream. Then got David Gerrard in the other PWS car. Derek Bird in the blue and grey car. Then behind that, we've got Steve Howells in the red, blue and grey, and closely followed by Murch Paunov in the red. We then have Andreas Pettersson in the yellow and blue, and then we have Andrew Ambro in the red with green stripe. We then have Benny Homestead in the yellow with red stripe, and we have Michelle Benshea in the red. Then I have Jeremy in the black with the prism down the side. Andy Lees in the white, and then running up the back we have Manuel Souza. Now, if you recall, I have problems getting to my screen, so I was rather inventive this time. And what I've done is I've written a little program that takes the mouse away from the game and gives it me back. So I don't have that problem anymore. So what I can do now is when it locks the cursor and I can't get it back, it's when I go into the camera mode, it stops it. I can recover it now. I've got a little program that I run, and it just says, give me my mouse back, and it takes the mouse away from the game. So that's one of the benefits of being someone who can write a program. No drop rounds have been taken into account, Melvin, but to be honest, it really isn't going to make that much of a difference at the moment in time. All will be revealed towards the end, and I'm not too sure actually in the Porsche Cup where we're doing drop rounds. I think it might just be the GT3. I need to speak with Jeremy about that, purely because of the number of races, because we've only done half races in these compared to the GT. No, round 10. No, you could be right. It'll all be decided later anyway, so don't worry about it. Oh, and Hughes decided he wanted to go on a bit of a tour. He want to get back in position and not speed. He could be in trouble there. He's way down the field. And off we go. So there is a car in the pits, and that was Sousa. So far, so good. Everyone's got round. Yeah, everyone's running. Jeremy's at the back. I've not seen any contact, so it wasn't as a result of an incident. So, we're going to settle down. We're going to enjoy this very, very long race. This is hard in the best of cars, let alone in the Porsche Cup. The guys at the end of this are going to be sweating. They're going to feel like they've had a proper workout. Let's see where it goes. And you will notice, Nikos, I've got the gaps up ready for you, mate. No need to say this time, I remembered. Dementia's not that bad yet. Yeah, Lars would have made it interesting, Johan. And you can see Mark's really giving pressure to Chris. Although, to be fair, I don't think Mark is the type of driver to take another driver out when he knows he's not in the championship. He is a gentleman driver. The possibility is obviously someone taking a spin. And as a result of taking a spin, everyone piles into that driver. But where'd you take it? We want people to be on the track. We want the tracks to be full. 17 cars on track. I think it's quite good. And we can see Andreas here is getting a really good run on Howells. Obviously, you'll get a good tow in these cars because of the aero on them, and we should see him being able to take them before they get over the crest. Is he going to make it? No, he's not going to make it. He just doesn't have the run. He might be running more wing, to be fair. No, and Howells managed to pull away. This is the corner that'll catch a few people out. That corner. Everyone looks like they've navigated it. I'm going to go to the front. And Howard is putting pressure on Mark. And Mark's lost time to... and Howard's really just keeping it easy. So Howard here, the gap isn't enough. But if Christopher goes off and makes a mistake, this could be really interesting. As I said, Terry could come from where he is and end up second in the championship. And I will say, Christopher's not faultless. You recall the championship last season? He buried it in the mountains and reversed down the hill, or driven back up the hill and got a DSQ. That's as a result of a spin. Now I have seen him already spin today, earlier on in this. So all drivers have got a spin in them in this car on this track, including the amazing Mr. Bourne. But yeah, I think there's going to be a bit of wall painting going on. You know, the cars are going to need respray at the end, Nikos. Have your paint palettes ready, because I think they're going to need a bit of painting. We've already been starting talking about plans for next season and some changes that we're going to put in place. Some quite interesting changes, to be honest. Trying to make it more dynamic in racing, in relation to the racing. So at the moment, all the GT3 races and all the normal races have taken place on dry tracks. The majority of, anyway. We've had specific nights dedicated for night. We've had specific nights dedicated for, obviously, the rain. So none of the key championships have been done in bad weather. So the plan next season, which sounds like is what we're going to go with, is that the week of the race, we will make clear what the weather forecast is for qualifying and for the race day. That information will be provided prior to the race, probably a couple of days before, and the server will be set to them settings and won't be changed. You will then have to practice under them settings. But what that means in reality is that you could end up qualifying in dry and racing in the wet, or vice versa, or qualifying in the wet and racing in the wet. But we will be doing it based on the location of the track, where it is, and looking at the weather for that track as well. We feel that adds a bit more dynamic to it and makes it a bit more realistic. Now obviously what we're not going to do is make it monsoon weather so you can't physically race. We did have a wet race and it doesn't really, there's not a lot of people who like the really heavy rain, so we will tone the rain down, but you will have to run wet tyres. Now on some of the longer races, the chances are you may get a dry line appearing. The pit window's now open and it will stay open for a good proportion of the race, I think 5 minutes till the end. So I'm going to jump back a little bit because Howells is now putting pressure on Hugh. So Hugh was out of position at the start. He spun in Murray Corner on the start, and he lost a few places, and he was aware that if he sped to try and get his position back, he'd probably get a penalty. So he's eased off and he's just getting back going again, and you can see now Howells is looking good, and we have a spinner. Or we have just someone who's gone wide. Let's have a quick look at what's happened there with Benny. Have I caught it? No, I didn't catch it in time. My apologies. So basically, I think Benny's touched the wall there, and I think the fact that he's still running. No, he's gone to the pits. He's obviously caused a steering problem there. And Howells, speaking of Howells, has lost a place. Let's see what's happened with Howells then. Did Howells have a mistake? So Andreas was behind him. Howells is gaining pretty well on Hugh. He's coming through the S's. No problem so far. Has he outbroke himself? Coming into the final bend. No, that looks... Oh, yeah. Bad. He put power on too early. It's caused the car to slide to the right. And that's gifted Andreas the position. I'm going to jump forward now to Merch. Sorry, I'm going to jump forward now to Merch. Merch is trying to pass Derek at this point. Sorry, that was the replay just finishing. My apologies for that. Hi, Peter. Hi, Craig. See, Merch is looking really quick, actually. Gaining so quick on Derek there. I think if that was the Conrod, you'd probably get him, but that is not. It's too late to pass him now. But he's very, very quick there. Very, very quick. Missed break, or I don't think he's going to be in the back, or he's going to be in the wall. All nice and clean through there. So far, so good. Everybody's keeping it together, actually. We've had one car pit, and that was Benny. But I'm looking at, there's been... there was no incidents recorded at all at the start. This seems to be a trait with the Porsche Cup. The last races we've had the Porsche Cup, there's been no incidents to record. And I don't know whether it's because everyone's taking the time with the car, because Anna spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. There's been contact between Hugh and Andreas. And Derek's made a mistake there, as you can see. So we're starting to see the mistakes come into play now as the tyres start warming up and people start pushing. So the incident between Hugh and Andreas hasn't caused an issue. I think it was just a bit of a love tap there. But Derek really got a bit squirrely there. He has damaged his car slightly, cosmetically. He's probably had a bit of light damage, but I think he's going to be okay to carry on racing. I'm going to jump back to Andreas because he is really putting pressure. You can see Hugh's car. In fact, these have both. Hugh's really hit the barrier hard there. I'm not too sure what the cause that was, but Andreas has walked past Hugh there. So that tells me Hugh's got massive problems. Now, does that mean Hugh's going to take a dash into the pits early on? Get his problem rectified? So that, I wonder whether Hugh's hit the barrier and Andreas has hit Hugh, because the damage on Hugh's car is a reflection of Andreas's, and the performance difference is massive, and Andreas drifts it round the corner. Well held, Andreas. Well held indeed. Let's jump forward a little bit back to Merch. So Merch, who managed to get past Derek before, is now hunting Eric down. So Eric's in a great position at the moment. He's in 5th place. The leaderboard I had up before, he was just off the leaderboard, by the way, Eric. He was just outside it. And Merch there, just got onto the curb. He just started squirreling that car around. Really don't want to touch the curbs in the Porsche. It prefers tarmac. If you second you hit the curb in the paint, it will be quite angry with you and try and snarl you out of the race a little bit. Yeah, looking good now there, Merch. I think he could get a good run on the Conrod here. We'll stick with this battle a little bit. Let's jump on board with Merch. And I think we'll get a good run on the Conrod if Merch can keep it together. 2 cars in front. Terry Howard's going very slow. Terry Howard's gone to the slip road. And he's hit the barrier. That could be Terry in trouble. Oh, he's causing problems behind. Terry's really in trouble. He's got himself going again. No, he's going further backwards. And you can see he's lost his steering. He wants to be very careful there. He's basically just going to scrape the car back to the pits. So he's hit the barrier hard because his steering's completely gone. It'll turn left, great. Luckily there's no right bends. So you can see there quite easily what's going to happen. We're going to jump on board with Derek. Derek is clawing at Gerard here. So I don't know whether that incident with Terry just put David Gerard out of balance a little bit and Derek could see it, so was clearer through. But I think we're going to see Howard in the pits now, struggling to get the car back. That steering looked well and truly completely damaged. Yeah, everybody's passing and he's deciding to take the shortcut, Terry. Don't blame him. It's just not wanting to go right at all, is it? Such a shame. He was on such a good run as well. He needs to get the car across into the pits. This will count as a valid pit stop, so his pit stop is out the way. I say it should turn left brilliantly, which it does. There's no way he's going to get done for speed in the pits at that rate, is it? So he just needs to find his pit box and get on with it. So I'm going to jump back to Merch. The Merch is still behind Eric, putting pressure on Eric. Just a quick refreshment. Keep my voice going. It's going to be a long race. 17 cars still running though. No one's backed out yet. And Merch is really putting pressure on the back now. It's getting the car a little bit unsettled there, Merch, riding the curb a bit too much. It's just allowed Eric just to push away a little bit. But Merch is definitely better under braking. Yeah, he's taken a lovely corner there. Took that really well. Gained a lot of time on Eric there. But Eric's got the power down quite well here. I don't think Merch is going to get him. And that's Mark Christopher in front of them, I believe, as well. So they are gaining ever so slightly on Christopher in front. He's not going to go for the dive. That would be ludicrous. That's very good driving, that, to be fair. He carried as much speed as he could and tried to use that speed to his advantage, and he's got carrying the speed. I still don't think this is a passing point, and he broke early. Good racing, very good racing. So Eric's mirrors are full, and he'll be sitting there thinking, can I shake this guy, can I shake this guy? And Merch will just keep waving through the window, I'm still here. You can see there the stream of cars behind. You've got a point there, Johan. I don't think he can. If it was a GT4, you might get away with it. I don't think... Oh, drifting the car there is Merch. Really pushing. That's a very good point, that, Johan. And yeah, I think you're right. I don't think he's going to be able to. So what he might have to do is split his pit strategy and do a splash and dash at the end. Very good observation, that. Let's look at it from the rear of Eric's car and see where Merch is quicker. And you can see Gerard's catching up now as well. So I can't help thinking that Eric's started to hold these cars up. So what can happen sometimes in this instance is there's a mistake and all 4 cars get totaled, or you end up with the likes of the PWS car managing to pass Merche and then manages to pass Eric, and Merche ends up gaining nothing from it. Big shout out to PWS, preciouswashers.co.uk, and with Syndeo, syndeo.world, and Aquagreen, who sponsor eSeniors and allow us to carry on providing the service we provide. Thanks to everyone who's donated. The donations are coming in from various different people. I believe Jeremy does make personal contact with you all. Obviously, we're grateful for that because it does allow us to carry on providing this service along with the sponsorship. So, thanks very much for everyone who does sponsor. Yeah, he's got a great run now as Merch. Don't think he's going to make a pass here, but it could look good for the mountain straight. He's going for it. He's going for it. Both going clean. He's going to get the good run there. And again, it's fair to say, Merche got that spot on. That was really good driving from Merche to get that pass done. And I think we're going to see Eric gain. Now Hugh is coming into the pits. So Hugh has realised he can possibly fill and get to the end. I'm not too sure. Now if that's the case, he's going to be looking to fill his car up, go to the end and see what he can do. The question is, 15 minutes have gone. 120 litres. You know what? I think he might have just done it. He might have just worked this out enough. If he fills that up, I think he might be able to go till the end. We shall see. Yeah, I think you're right, Nikos and Johan. But I think Hugh has 15 minutes of racing. That may be a difference. I still think he's going to be 5 litres short. Perhaps. We'll see. So you can see now Gerard is putting pressure on Eric now. So Eric is definitely the cork in the bottle. But he's not yet made a mistake. Let's not, mistaken that. He's not made a mistake. And if other cars do make a mistake, he's going to carry on track. But we've still got 1 hour, 13 minutes left to go. And you can see Derek's back in the running again now behind as well after his mistake. I don't know if he's got any car damage, but obviously that will be addressed within the pit stop window. Derek's damage is probably in the region of 15 seconds. Now, Andy Lees has binned it. Let's have a look what Andy Lees has done. He's come round. So far, so good. No issue there. This is what catches everyone out, this. Has he just caught the brakes? Yeah, he's just... Looks like he's just kept the power on. You can see his bonnet's gone there. Oh dear. That was a bit abrupt into the opposite side of the wall. So I don't know whether he's going to limp back to the pits. Mark's also in the pits, so I don't know whether that's strategic. And he's filling up and he's going to go for a long run. But yeah, that's a bit of a worry. Jeremy's running in the 2:13, so I don't know if Jeremy's had a problem as well. So where is Jeremy? There's Jeremy. So Jeremy's in the 2:13s. So he's a good 8 seconds off the pace. So that makes me think Jeremy's also had a venture somewhere. Although there's not many marks on his car, so I'm not too sure about that. Let's jump forward to David Gerrard. He's putting a lot of pressure now on Eric. Now David's one of these where he's been trying to master the Porsche for a number of races now. And Eric's just a bit squirrely there. And David Gerrard's made the pass. Eric hasn't hit the wall. He just got squirrely and managed to hold it, so he got away with that. So yeah, David Gerrard's been trying to master the Porsche for a while. And he's not giving up fair dues to him. He's carried on and carried on. And it finally looks like it might be going to pay off. I don't want to do commentator's curse on him, but he does look pretty good. Now I'm going to jump forward because Merche's after the other PWS car. Oh, contact! Oh, that was both got away with that. Both got away with that. Wow. Not too sure what went on there. Oh, well, that one will help. Oh, he's just managed to miss the wall. Is he going to carry on? Or is he calling it a day? His car's stationary. He's called it a day. Merch has give up. Merch has quit. He's give up. That now puts Mark Christopher in second. It also means Mark Christopher looks like he could be second in the championship. And he's now being followed by his teammate. Now David is not in the running here. So unfortunately, if he does catch Mark, is Mark going to heed to him or carry on? Guess we're going to find out. But Eric isn't giving up. He's still pushing here. Let's see where it takes us anyway. Yeah, he is pulling away, isn't he, Gerrard? Yeah, but he is easily gaining on Christopher as well. He's took a second out of Christopher there. We've also got another car. He's going slow, is Andrew Ambro. One of the drivers of the last part of the season, in my view. Andrew Ambro, he's really excelled in the last few races. And his performances, his pace, have really come to fruition. I don't know if he's changed anything, but it's been great to race against him, to be fair. Yeah, completely destroyed it. Yeah, we didn't see that, unfortunately, Mark, because it didn't come up as a yellow. So he must have completely battered the wall. But yeah, you sat in the pits, and obviously it's going to take him a while to build it. So Derek is now catching Eric up. So Derek on Eric. The gaps elsewhere are massive. Absolutely, Malcolm. 100%. It's that eagerness to pass. And, you know, I've learnt a lot this season, and I've learnt it from Chris Bourne. When I've had Chris Bourne behind me, he never makes the stupid moves. He waits and waits and waits, works out where you're the weakest, and then goes for the move that he knows is going to pass. Now, I'm not a defensive driver, so if I know Chris is going for it, I'm not going to fight him because I don't want to take us both out. I've tried to adopt the same this season, and some of the moves that I've done last season would have backfired. This season I've not done anything like that, and I think it's one of these where you'll live to fight another day. Me and Jeremy did some, I'm going to say verification earlier on the number of penalties issued in the various groups. Let's just say it was very interesting. There's not many drivers who have not got a penalty this season in Group 1. There are some, but not many. And it's interesting to see who they are, to be honest. And also, the same drivers kept appearing with penalties as well. So we're not going to name and shame. Obviously, we're not going to publicly do that. But yeah, it was interesting to see from that perspective how many drivers have had a clean season. We were talking about making it a bit stricter next season in relation to the incidents. Jeremy wanted to apply immediate DSQs to anyone that causes a lap 1 shenanigan. I've convinced him that's a bad idea. But what we may do is that when the race is over and the stewards are looking at it in the first lap incidents, anybody who falls foul and really does ruin someone else's race, because there's no real penalty for not racing the next week, we're going to penalise them for the start of the next race. So they're going to run with an underpowered car. We'll apply ballast and restrictor to them. Now, I know that doesn't necessarily massively affect them, but in the long run it will impact them, and that's the difference in finishing second, third and fourth. So what we will do is we'll still apply the penalties, but we'll hinder them in another way. Anybody that causes 2 continuous incidents of that nature, one race after another, they will be suspended. So we're making some changes to try and make it fairer for everybody else. Yeah, Malcolm, as I said, I've changed the way I race as a result of Michelle's on the sidelines. Let's see what's happened there. Don't know if I've got a replay going phone up. So he's coming down the straight. That finish straight. He's going to turn left. No issue there at all. Now, that tells me he's got power problems. You could hear his accelerator die. Oh, has Michelle got has he had functional issues with his controller there? Because you could actually hear the oh, he's running again now. I wonder if he's had problems with the pedals. Interesting. Looking a bit twitchy though. Right, let's go back to David Gerrard. David Gerrard is catching Christopher. We've not got to the bottom of it yet, Malcolm, what we're going to do, but we're just trying to make it a little bit fairer. There's been a few drivers who've been really frustrated with incidents, and I mean, no one wants to receive a 10-place penalty, let's face it. But, you know, they sometimes fail to realise that their actions have impaired another racer. Now, it's very easy to blame another car and say that wasn't my fault. But if, certainly on the English roads, if you were driving on the English roads and you hit someone, unless they deliberately done it to catch you out, and we've got that in the rules to prevent that, you would be found as the liable party. Now, if everybody is managing to navigate a corner and you hit them, ultimately you're at fault because everyone else has managed to get around the corner. Why couldn't you? So I think we just need to get rid of that lap 1 culture of I can win this in the first corner or I can win this on the first lap. You can't. You're more likely to lose it completely on the first lap than win it on the first lap. And it's just something we're trying to get rid of. Difficult. We know it's difficult because at the end of the day, it's a simulator. There's so many different elements that can go wrong against you. The controls, netcode, lag, latency. But ultimately, if you don't put yourself in the position to hit someone, you won't hit them. That video Aris did on passing safely, if you like, really good video. Explains pings, latency, and what it actually means. And it also explains why sometimes you appear not to hit a car, but they spin off. And it's to do with the netcode. The netcode has picked up the contact, but your game hasn't received the netcode signal. So you don't feel you've hit and made contact, but the game has thrown a car off track. Now, that happened to me last season with Rayner at Paul Ricard. I went to pass Rayner up the inside and I moved left. Nothing come up on my screen. Didn't say I had a collision. Next minute, Rayner's going off at full tilt into the barrier. And apparently it was me. When I looked at the replay, it was very difficult to see the contact on the replay I had. But I had to go with the fact that the game had indicated it was me. There was only me near him to do it. So it's difficult when you can turn around and say, but I didn't do it. We've just got to make that decision and say, well, yeah, but netcode's not perfect. It's as damn good as it can be. But the answer is don't get yourself in the situation where you're going to hit a car. You know, don't sit up the backside and brake later than them. You're going to hit them. It's as simple as that. You can see now all the cars are spaced out. We've got 16 cars on track, although Mark's having the Porsche guys work extra hard on his car in the pits. He's been in the pits for a good number of laps, 6 laps he's been in the pits. I mean, when he said he's destroyed it, he weren't joking. Now, interestingly enough, Hugh and Terry's pit stops have been classified as valid. Now, we'll be interested to see how far Hugh will get. So Hugh is in 13th place at the moment. He's not last, actually. Both Terry and Benny are behind him. He is gaining on the next car in front of him, but not at a rate of knots. I think when the pit stops come, this will level itself out quite well. You're always going to have to consider that Hugh and Terry have had damage. So a normal pit stop isn't going to apply. So this gap is stabilised now at 1.8. This is the only place where we've got any action. So what we'll do is we'll go to the front and we'll have a bit of a fun with Mr. Bourne. We have 1 hour left. No stress at all. Just getting on with it. But look at his ABS. Got his ABS set at 7. That's quite high. Got his brake bias at 59. That's quite high. I'm just trying to see what his so he's using map 8, I think that is. Obviously they don't have traction control, so there's no way of looking for traction control. He's on lap 14. Hi Don. He's like clockwork. He's 20 seconds clear. He's just like clockwork. Gerard has now started putting pressure on Christopher. Well, we're going to see some movement in that position now as well. Let's go back to Mark and let's see what he sees in his mirror. Yeah, you can see the other PWS car closing him down. And you can see Derek and Eric behind. Now he's 1.3, so he's half a second up than the last time we saw him. I wonder if that's Christopher just getting a bit of a twitch on there. But as of yet, his car's still pristine. No marks on it. As is Mr. Christopher's in front. These two Porsches looking very, very clean indeed. And as we know, Derek's had a bit of a scuff at the front and a scuff at the side. Eric, that looks relatively clean. Ambrose decided he wanted a new paint job. Howells equally was thinking the same. He's hit something at the front. Andreas doesn't like his colour scheme. Jeremy's looks alright actually. no marks on the front. There's no marks on the side. Andy Lees is off. Oh, that's a big one. That is a big one by Andy Lees. Let's get on board with him and see what happens. Comes through. Taking his time. He's easy doing it. He's gone. Oh, that's a big one. And if he's in VR, he's just brought his tee back up. And Benny's managed to navigate past him. As has Chris Bourne. So Chris Bourne is now behind Benny. Let's run on board with Chris and see how Chris gets through the back marker. And Ben Chea's off as well. Now that car doesn't look too healthy. Let's see what happened to Michelle. So yeah, his car's looking a bit battered and bruised there. The bonnet's flapping a little bit. Oh, he's gone into the barrier on the left-hander. Oh no, hell corner. Has he over-rotated it? Oh, he has. Oh, bang. Yeah, that's not going to buff out, is it? Yeah, that's really not going to buff out. Let's go back to Chris Bourne. Oops, Chris Bourne, who's put in pressure. Oh, he's managed to pass Benny. He's managed to get that done. But Benny's let him go. And Chris is off now. There's no stopping him, is there? No stopping him at all. His lap times aren't phenomenal. But they're faster than everybody else. Well, to be fair, David Gerrard was the fastest on the last lap. By 2/10. But he's not pushing. He has done a 2:05. He's nearly... I mean, he's a full second off that now. So he has eased off. But as you can see, he's still a rocket man, isn't he? Right, I'm going to go back to Gerrard now because David Gerrard is really putting pressure on Christopher now. Beer everywhere in Andy's house. I like that Don as well. He's got birds tweeting everywhere around his head. Yeah, he smacked that. And if he is VR, oof, you'd feel that, wouldn't you? As I said, your teeth just come up. If that was me, I'd have been it. I'd have been off. So is Christopher going to make this easy for Gerrard? So if I was in Christopher's shoes here, I'd let Gerrard go. Because this doesn't impact his race and the result. Pushing. We've already seen he had contact with Merch. Pushing's more likely to cause an issue. And Michelle's gone now. Michelle's left the server. We're now down to 15. Andy Lees is back out the pits. Actually, he did go the pits, didn't he? He's back out the pits and he's running again. Good to see Gerrard. Gerrard's really got this nailed now, this car. Quite a few wanted to beat this car as a challenge, and I can see why. Not really pulling Christopher in much more as we speak. Because this track's so large, you can see the spread out. We have got a couple of cars close. I'm just trying to find, that's 515. So Howells is relatively close to Ambro, but he's not passing at the moment. Right, but we have got a car behind Andreas. I'm just trying to work out who that is, who's behind Andreas. That's Sousa. So, and there you go. Oh, that's painful. His wheel's facing the wrong way. What happened there? After me just saying about Ambro and catching Ambro up, he's come round. He's really rotated it whatever he's done, because he was facing the complete... Oh, that's a... Oh, and he's took Hugh out with him as well. Oh, what a shame. Yeah, it's looking a bit lost there, that car. And look, there's a truck waiting for him as well. And that's another car heading to the pits. There's not many cars on track now where there's been no incidents. Sousa. Sousa's also had a bit of an off. Let's see what's happened with Sousa. Come round. This corner really catches people out. And he's not flying, he's taking his time. And that corner again there. That where it took Andy Lee's out before. So the problem there is the front goes really light. And if you put the power down, the front's still spinning to the left. And he's put his windscreen wipers on. He's obviously got dirty windows. And he's carrying on. But he's still running. Now Derek Bird has pitted. Now is that a tactical pit? Because he has got damage. But he might have pulled a stonker here if he can get away with it. We're now on board with Howells. Howells is quite a way off Eric in front of him. And as we know, he's got damage to his car as well. Albeit it only looks like a scuff. So any pit stop, I don't think he's going to struggle with too much. Hugh Morris is now into 10th place. So he is moving up the grid. Andy Lees is off again. He's come out of the pits. And he's gone off again. Should we see what happened there? It's a very similar place to where he was before. But obviously his tyres aren't going to be up to speed. This is his bend again. So he's come round. Oh, he's gone wide. Oh, and the two PWS cars managed to avoid him. Yeah, he's still off track. Andy Lees. He's really struggling at the moment. I think he's waiting for cars to pass. Yeah, you can see there goes Eric. But now he's rejoining. Yeah, that's put a bit of a kibosh. We've lost another car. I think that was Ben. No, it wasn't Benny. I don't know who it was we've just lost, but we've just lost another driver. I'm just trying to think who it was now, who we've lost. But yeah, we're losing drivers for fun now. It's starting to fall apart as they start hitting the barriers. This is what I was saying about just stay on track and you're going to finish with a good haul of points here. Okay, let's go back to Gerard. Gerard's still putting pressure on Christopher. These two will be in the chat. PWS chat. Because I think that's how they do it. I don't know whether a call will come and say, yo, it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect you, Mark. Let me past, I want second. But then again, you know, Christopher will want second as well, although he's made a mistake there. Gerard's really putting pressure on him now. He wants to be careful, as I said. If he puts too much pressure on himself, he'll end up hitting the wall. And that could put an end to where he needs to be. And then... Now, where's Howells behind him? So, as it stands, let me work out a gap difference here. Howells. So there's 8 points between them at the moment in Howells' favour. 8. Oh, and there's 8. So they're currently, if I've done my maths right, they're currently level on the championship. So, if Gerard passes Christopher, he's handing Howells, in the current situation, second place. So, you see. Now, I'm not too sure whether he'll be aware of that, to be honest. I've just done that now, based on what I know. Derek is still in the pits, yes. So has he called it a day? So that tells me he's doing... And there you go. What did I say? What did I say? He's not immune to going off. And Christopher. And I think he's done that on the bend coming into the final straight. the little straight downhill. And he got quite bumpy there. Oh! Well, he has got damage on the side of his car, so he has hit something. He's got damage on that side of the car, so I think he started to... When he was slow before, I wonder if he hit the barrier. So we will have got away with that. But now, it's advantage Howells. Little does Christopher know, but it's advantage Howells. So, looking at this, Howells is in fourth place. Is currently in fifth place. That's... Let me just work this out quickly. Ooh. As it stands, Howells is currently second place. So important that the guys keep on running. I mean, Howells is just... He's got his own quiet race. Jeremy's having a problem, and Jeremy's pitting. He has got damage on his car, so Jeremy has hit something. He's come in halfway through, so midpoint now, Jeremy. He's done a midpoint stop, and that's when I'd expect most of them to do the stop, to be fair. So Jeremy's... he's just got on with it. He's in a good position, 7th place. And I would expect one or two others to start pitting at this point. And you can see there, Chris Bourne's just gone whizzing past. And he's currently hunting down Terry, who's 5 seconds. Shocking commentator. Cheers, Don. Cole being honest. I think we're going to see Chris haul in. He's took 3/10 out of Terry already. Half a second out of Terry. Christopher's now pitting. So what's going to be interesting here is how much gain the other guys who pit do. Because we know Christopher's got damage. Not much damage, so I don't think he's going to be in the pits that long. But if he's in too long and the other guys don't have to stop, he could end up losing out here. We'll see. We'll see. Plus, it also means he's going to be behind other cars who may not be as quick as him. And that could allow the concertina effect behind him. So he's not really gaining now, Chris. So what we'll do is Christopher should be leaving the pit shortly. And we can see Jeremy's now coming out the pit. So Jeremy did have damage. And Jeremy has got a drive-through. Jeremy's got a try-through for pit lane speeding. So he's going to have to go all the way around and go through again. You can see Christopher's come out. Don, when there's only 13 cars on track, I'm gonna be mentioning everyone, aren't I, at some point? Right, let's see where things are at the moment. So Andreas is closing in. Oh! Now, I'm not being blamed for that. I am not being blamed for that one. I was just about to say Andreas is closing on Howells, and then Andreas puts it in the wall. And Nikos has done exactly the same. There you go, Nikos. You can laugh with me because we both said the same thing at the same time. Oh, what a shame, Andres. You're doing really well there. And David Gerrard is now pitting. And that means Eric is now claiming second place. Eric will pit at some point. But he's obviously doing a longer stint. Yeah, I don't think Gerard will be in long. He had no damage at all to his car. Not that I can see. And what that means is now that Howells has passed. So Christopher's back out again. and he is in 6th place. So what we need to see is how far ahead he gets. So Jeremy's now doing his drive-through. It is done. Funny though, I got a stop and go the other day. I didn't get a drive-through. I got a stop and go. I can't quite understand what the difference is. Why I didn't get a drive-through and I got a stop and go 30. It's a nice pleasant drive through the pits anyway. So Andreas is pitting. Obviously he's got the right time in there. It might, Johan, you're correct there. That's splash and dash. Jeremy's cleared his drive through. And Mark Christopher is running. Trying to run and catch up now. Now Chris Bourne is doing his pit stop. So he's coming in and getting that done. He'll be making sure his pit limit is set, so he's got no problems with his pit stop. So I think Eric and Howells have still yet to stop. Yeah. Andy Lees isn't showing that he's stopped either, from what I can gather. Although I know Andy has been in the pits. So I'm not too sure what happened there. Maybe he just said repair car and keep going. So Christopher is 6 seconds behind David Gerrard. Now David Gerrard has pitted. So obviously that incident with Christopher going off before. Oh, I thought he'd gone then. He slid the car, did Christopher then. I thought he's already going to put it into the wall. Let's sit on board with Christopher. Just see how he copes. I said he did get sideways up there and got away with it. So the big issue here for him is where Howells is going to come out. If Howells comes out anywhere near him, it could be Howells' for the taking this. What I'm going to do while this is running, I'm going to open up the table and I'm going to work out what impact a drop race will be. So Howells, interesting. Interesting this. Mark Christopher missed a race out. So I reckon he's going to drop that race, which means he's going to lose 0 points. Stephen Howells has got 18 points. 18, and he's got 22 places, 22 points. He's going to lose 22 points there. So if you take one race out of the equation, it changes. Now, if we do the same, Noble's not racing, he can only lose, he can take 0 points away from there. The Howells would jump both of them and go into second. Bristol would jump them all and go into second. Terry Howard if Terry Howard was closer in the running, he'd be in for it here. Sousa's gone off again. Go back to Christopher. Chris just made a pass on Andy Lees. Right, so I'm going to go to Howells because Howells is in the pits. As it stands, I think Howells needs to finish 3 places clear of Christopher. Howells in the top 4 and Christopher in 7th or 8th for this to go pear-shaped. As it stands, I think Christopher's going to get 2nd place. Let's wait for the cars to come across. We'll see. Here comes, that's Gerrard, and here comes Christopher. Yeah, so Howells is going to come out any second now. I think he should start, unless he's got damage to his car. We don't know how much damage he's got. We'd expect him to come out, and obviously he could get a pit lane speed and offence as well. So he's moving again. Out. He's not got a penalty. So he's now one place behind Christopher, which if they weren't dropping races, means he's winning. But the fact that Christopher did a race where he didn't score any points, and that will be his dropped race, puts him in a really strong position. So he's really going to have to stuff up now, Christopher, for this to go against him. Really have to stuff up. And I'm talking binning it and having to go into the pits. No, I don't want to do commentator's curse. I'm just being realistic of what's got to happen for this to change. Hi, Billy. No, Johan, when you escape to the pits, it doesn't count as a pit stop. I think that's why Terry Howard drove into the pit, so he didn't get that delay and his pit stop could be valid. So all eyes on Christopher here. He's got fresh rubbers on his wheels, so he should be in a good strong position. Now I am missing some information here, and you'll be seeing it on the screen, where I'm not getting splits from Chris, Eric, or Christopher. Right, it's now reset itself. Still not missing full times for Eric though. Interesting. So Chris is 40 odd seconds clear of David. David's 7 seconds clear of Christopher. Christopher is, just looking at this, 17 seconds clear of Eric. Yeah, oh, it's showing 10 there. Oh yeah, 10. Sorry, my apologies. And then Howells is 24 seconds clear behind them. Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on Terry Howard, because Terry Howard is gaining on Jeremy. So let's sit on board with Terry for a bit. 34 minutes to go. Yeah, this track, the camber, is all over the place, as you can see. You've got a camber to the right, a camber to the left in 2 corners. Very difficult to set your tyres up to manage that. And with the straights as well, the chances are it just burns your tyres up because of the camber. He's really caught Jeremy up here now, so he'll be looking to pass on the straight. Jeremy's not racing him. Oh, he is. Jeremy, this is for position. I don't think Jeremy's going to give. Terry's looking racy though. He's looking very racy. Jeremy's got a good exit though. Pulled away, well loaded Jeremy. That's too far for to make a pass. It's that turbo whining. Both making the corner very, very good there. That's excellent, that. Oh, good exit there. Gonna make it? No, he's not. He's easing off. He doesn't prefer the dive, and he's going to wait and have another go at Jeremy. This is the battle. This is where it's all at. This is where it's going. Trying to work out. So I think as it stands, yeah, I think I know the top 3 are going to be now in the championship. Howard's so quick through there compared to Jeremy. Jeremy's very tentative through there. Hi, Derek. Oh, it's looking very close. Let's get back on board. He's almost pushing Jeremy out of the way. He's trying to push Jeremy out of the way. He wants to be careful hitting the wall, though. That was close. And Jeremy just seems to get the accelerator down there. We nearly get sideways ended, Terry. You can just see the back end just start to come round. He's trying to get Jeremy on the power out. I think he's going into the corner too quick. If I was Terry, I'd slow down a little bit more and start getting the power down into the corner. Come out wider. I think that's what Jeremy's doing. That's why Jeremy's getting a better drive out the corner there. Because Terry seems to be braking late. Which means as he's hitting the corner, he's actually still trying to slow the car down. Whereas Jeremy's not. Yeah, Billy. There will be. Quality. Love the wet. Love the wet. I'm hoping we can have a wet, dry and wet. Hi, Ambro. Andrew, sorry. Oh, and Andreas has gone off. Let's have a see what Andreas has done, because he's damaged his car significantly. And then there were 12. Oh, he's gone. He did the same as what Terry did early on. Oh, but he decided to clobber. He nearly took Chris Bourne out in the process. Let's go back to Terry Howard. Still putting pressure on Jeremy. But as I said, Jeremy just seems to be able to get... Oh! And we've had Jeremy disconnect. No, we've not. Don't know what happened then. Something happened because it changed their view. Okay. Got a blip. Oh, Terry's made it. Jeremy got a bit sideways. I wonder whether Jeremy had lag then. Because something happened. And Jeremy's car flipped the display a little bit. I think Jeremy had lag. I'm sure he'll tell us. But Terry's now pulling away. Terry will be hunting Andreas down. Of course he will, Derek. Just drive around at 30 mile an hour. You'd probably win it. I had to go at the Ferrari at Monza the other day. Oh, what a laugh. On that straight, how fast you can get that Ferrari to go. It's mint. But I'm not here next week to race, so I'm absolutely gutted. Working away. I might be able to do the Monday night race, but that'll be it. In fact, you know what? I might race the Ferrari Monday. Because it's going to be such a giggle on the straight walking past people. I think the Ferrari's only 1 second off the GT3s as well, actually, at Monza. Because of its pace on the 2 straights. Might be worth a consideration, that, for a laugh. Because I'm not racing all week. Mind you, I've still got the GT3 on Sunday. I've now the final race of the championship. Yeah. Yeah, but Nikos, you forget one thing. A lot of the races in the next championship will be from October, when the weather goes pear-shaped. Not that's the evil in me, but I think it's going to matter. No worries, Andrew. I was saying to Jeremy before, I've not been around for a while because work's really took off, been really busy again. I've been out on site for a few times, and I'm out on site again next week. Off to Ireland, the Emerald Isle, although I'm going to the Northern Ireland, not the Republic. And can't fly over there because we're taking some equipment with us, so we're actually catching the ferry. So you could probably do it in a rowing boat in a few hours. You probably couldn't, but you know, just take that as an example. It's going to take us 8 hours on a ferry to get from Birkenhead, which is in Liverpool, to Belfast. So that's going to be a joy. And we've got to do the same on Friday coming back. So I'm probably going to be back Friday about 10:30. So 2 very long days, as well as the 2 days in between. Manuel's gone off. Oh, that's looking very ill, that one. Oh, in fact, he's gone down the whole of the Conrod straight with a damaged car. I think that's looking... Oh, yeah, that's not looking good at all. He's lost his steering as well. So second person to lose the steering. He'll just go down and take all the placards out. Now, can't see any cars coming up behind him because we're in replay mode. Yeah, Craig, we are rowing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to this Sleeve Donard in Newcastle, Andrew. I was actually in Dublin a few years ago, the same exhibition in Dublin at the Sleeve Russell, is it? Very nice hotels, very old-fashioned hotels, but very nice. Yeah, Craig, 8 hours it would feel like rowing, mate. My boss has got us on a first class, but I don't quite know what that means on a ferry. Does that mean you don't have to sit in your car? I've really no idea. The schedule will be subject to change, Nikos, based on any DLC, is all I'm going to say. Because I think the DLC is due shortly, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. So I'm hoping to put the schedule off for a bit of time for the expectation of the DLC, because there might be some new cars in there, and also there's allegedly some new tracks. And I've heard a rumour Cota's in it. Now that will be worth doing a race on. Craig, it means you get a window. And you're allowed on deck. Yeah, you're probably right. But 8 hours on a ferry, that's definitely the slow boat. I mean, they say slow boat to China, it must be slow boat to Belfast. It sounds like here Christopher's eased off a little bit. I mean, he's lost 3 seconds on Gerard. I do wonder whether Christopher's done his maths before this race and worked out what he needs to do. Yeah, the expectation is, Billy, there's I think it's in the next month or so, there's supposed to be some DLC coming. The Competizione. It's all up in the air, but there's been pictures of the COTA, Circuit of the Americas, in ACC. So they reckon that's one of the tracks that could be released. But it also means, does it open up then the American tracks for the American GT3? Right, new tracks only. Where are you moving to, Andrew? Yeah, I was hoping, Nikos, they were going to bring the Mustang. The 8 Mustang around any track would sound awesome. Such a shame, because that would be a great car. I think Toyota have just brought out a GT3 as well, haven't they? That'd be nice to see as well. Toyota GT3. I need to probably bring out a Toyota GT4. But there'll be no other M2 class type cars. Apparently that was always going to be a class of its own. So I'm not expecting anything else to run alongside the M2. Which is a shame, because I wanted to really do a tournament with multiple cars of that class. But I guess I'll do like I did with the Ginetta, but do an M2 series. Ah, you're moving to Italy. Okay. Anywhere nice in Italy? Monaco, nothing's worse than Monaco. Not wrong with Hungary, Nikos, to be fair. But Monaco is the world's worst track. If they ever bought a DLC out for Monaco for ACC, I wouldn't buy it on principle. Alright, let's join. Who haven't we ridden on board with? Let's ride on board with Benny. See how Benny gets through the track. That, to be honest, Andrew, that's why I've been doing these events where Lake Garda. That's why I've been doing these events with fixed car events where everyone's running the same car. It's to try and give people an appreciation of what other cars are on track. Quite interesting, because the other day we had the Merc GT4, and I think someone, it might have been Malcolm actually, if it's you Malcolm, just say so. The first time they'd driven that car, and they were saying they know what they're driving for the GT4 next season. Because it was a lovely car to drive, that Merc, to be fair. And that's the point of this, it's to give you the opportunity to appreciate what other cars you may consider racing. Now I know Jeremy's after the Mercedes GT3, that's why he set that race up yesterday, because he fancies the Mercedes. But I think races we'll be doing next season, mini tournaments, will be the Ferrari FSX, the Nut Ferrari, and the M2. I'll be doing an M2 and a Ferrari series next season. The Ferrari series will be kept on tracks where there's performance. So you're talking your Monzas, your Spas. I'm tempted to say Bathurst because of the straight, and a few other tracks. I like an M2 series well. Yeah, if they do, I don't think they'll do that, and it's unfortunate because, as I said, it's Alpha and the Audis. I think it will give you a good championship. That it's a challenge trying to come up with all these ideas. So if there's a series of events you think are worth trying, let me know. You missed what I said before, Andrew. The races next season, I don't know if you missed it, are going to be based on real world weather. So your quali could be wet and your race could be dry, or vice versa. So I'll be looking at the weather at the track in real life before the race and making an announcement of what the situation's going to be for quali and race. Everyone's going to be in the same boat, but it means there's no point in practicing a track in the dry if it's going to be a wet race. You know, and what we'll do is a couple of days before that we'll announce what the weather prediction is planned for that track for that week, and then that's how we'll go with it. Now, with the season starting in October, I half expect there to be some challenges, shall we say, but equally there'll be some tracks, you know, your Kyle Armies of this world, where the weather could be quite sprightly, but then you've got your Zandvoorts of this world where it might not be too pleasant. Obviously we can't do snow, but we can have very cold temperature tracks. But Benny's doing a nice lap there. I'm going to jump forward to Andy Lee's. Andy's caught up Sousa. Thanks, guys. I was saying earlier on, Derek and Andrew, that all the GT3 races have been in the normal weather. You know, decent weather with no rain. All we've varied really is the clouds. That's not reality. So I just want to try and give it a bit more dynamic next season. That's all. And if people don't race in the wet, well, they don't get points. It's as simple as that. But I'm not going to make it so it's monsoon. I'm going to make it so it's reasonable. You know, the point is the weather will be wet enough to race, but if it's a long race, you might get a dry line, that sort of thing. I've still got a lot. Oh, we got away with that, did Andy then? And Terry Howard's, after done his splash and dash, guys. You called it early on, Johan. Terry's doing his splash and dash. On board with Andreas. So we know Andreas has had an off earlier. And Chris Bourne's lapped him for a second time, I believe that is. Yeah, so Chris Bourne's flying at the moment. He's 34 seconds clear of David Gerrard. Sousa has... Well, I don't quite know where he is there, but... Oh, he's just let Jeremy pass. What a gent. But this is what I was saying earlier on about the cars being parked across the track. What's so important, you see the yellow flag being waved there. It's pay attention to the flags. They do so much help. Let's go on board with Hugh. So Hugh's having quite a nice quiet race. Just not 90 minutes. No, I think... let's just say, Melvin, it's not out the equation. Yeah, he's really taking his time here, Hugh. I think he just wants to get it home and get it. He's only got 15 minutes to go. Howells is let's jump on board with Howells. Howells has caught Andy up. We'll be looking to pass Andy Lees. Christopher's really eased off now. The fact that Christopher's eased off makes me think he's aware of the situation and he's looking to consolidate his position. Howard's still in the pits. That's not a fuel stop. Howard must have damaged his car. Either that, he's decided to call it a night. Or call it a day, depending on what your terminology is. And I think we're going to see the pass. Well, let's see Andy Lees. He's getting blue flagged. He is a gentleman, Andy. He will let him go, and then he'll put his own foot down. And off he goes. Mark Christopher then was flashing up on my screen as going slow, so has he just made a bit of had a bit of an off there? Not too sure. He's running again. He's had an off. He lost 2 seconds there to Gerrard, so he did have a bit of an off. Let's go back on board with Eric. Not been on board with Eric today, so let's spend half a lap or so with Eric and see how he's coping with the car. Looking good going around there. Obviously got his tyres up to temperature, keeping things running. Dom. Circuit of the Americas at night in the rain. That's funny, that's funny. Obviously I'm not reading that out, but that's funny, that. Yeah, tracks you don't know. Big difference, isn't there? Still pushing it is Eric. Bit of slide there, you could hear it. He's not gaining much on Christopher here, to be fair. He is gaining, but he's not going to gain enough to pass him. Yeah, Terry's back out of the pits again, but I think he must have really annihilated the wall, or should I say the wall's annihilated him. We're back on board with Christopher. Got 12 minutes to hang on. Probably does Dicos. Still got a bit squirrely as Mark, so he's obviously been pushing a little bit. It's that engine. In fact, this is the best view. This one. What a noise. Right, we'll turn that up, shall we? There you go. Enjoy that. Don't forget your diapers, as they say in America. Pick up them puddles from enjoying this car noise. What a noise. Stupendous noise, that. I don't need to speak, that car's doing all the talking for me. He's keeping it together, isn't he? That was nice, that was enjoyable. The volume level's back, rather than deafening you all. For those who were falling asleep, I've just woken up, my apologies in advance. Chris Bourne's 35 seconds clear. He's still pumping him, surprisingly quick laps. Hugh's going slow. I think he just made a mistake and outbroke himself. Oh, he's just been eased off for David Gerrard. David Gerrard's just passed him, actually, so let's go on board with David Gerrard. I don't want to tempt fate here, but it does look like David Gerrard has tamed the beast. 9 minutes to go. And I think he's one of the few drivers who hasn't introduced himself to Barry. When you've got to put into broadcast mode, Billy. If you're spectating, press F2 4 times and it goes into broadcast mode, and the display you get is completely different. You can control more on the screen. I didn't realise then, actually, so when I was in there, alright, I can do that. And then obviously I've got more on the screen there than I require. Is that what you mean? Rob, all the events are around this time of day. We routinely start the events at 1:30 EST, I think it is. Sorry, 2 o'clock EST. someone of the North American guys can just confirm that for me. No, there's a broadcast button. There's a broadcast mode. Yeah. So what you can do is in F2. Well, F2. If I press F2 now in the game, you'll see a menu come up. Basic HUD is that. Timetable is that, and broadcasting is that. And broadcasting clears the screen. Now I do have the ability to display on screen potentially the gear they're in and stuff like that, but ultimately I don't get to see them braking. If I put it in to basic HUD mode, that allows me to, as you can see everything. So that's now in basic HUD mode. So I get to see the inputs, I get to see the gear, I get to see the braking. But I can still control everything else about the game. You'll notice the track map has now gone to the left, and it is hidden behind the timing tower. So what I could do, if I wanted to, is move the timing tower to below the track map. So you'll see that move now, and I can just do various different things with it. I've personally no preference to what I do. Broadcasting just gives me a bit more flexibility. But you can now see I've got a timers table, I've got the inputs, and so on. Five minutes to go. And there you go, the pit window is now closed. I did say 5 minutes it would close, and that's exactly what's happened. Now I do think he's catching somebody up here, isn't he? Yeah, he's catching Manuel Sosa up. So let's see how he dispatches Mr. Sosa. He coasts around that corner, doesn't he, David? Just coasts. Great engine sound, that really is a great engine sound. Do love the Porsche engine compared to the old one anyway. And Terry, oh, what's happened to Terry? He's facing the wrong way. He's managed to turn that round superbly there. Well done, Terry. Back on board with Mr. Christopher. Christopher's 2 seconds off his quickest lap time now. Yeah, definitely. Got to be Mr. Bourne, hasn't it? Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. I agree with that. It's got to be Mr. Bourne today. Although, you know what? I think David Gerrard has had a fantastic race today. Just want to put that out there. Mr. Bourne's won every race, more or less. David Gerrard, I'll just jump to David Gerrard. He struggled with this car and fought with it for the season. He's really tried and tried and tried. And at this moment in time, it looks like he's making it. So I actually want to, Johan, I want to counteract your drive of the day with David Gerrard. What's other people's opinions? We've got 2 minutes to decide, guys. He's tamed the beast. Nikos. I like that, yeah. For his own car setup. What they've done in Gran Turismo, that, innit? Yeah, Born Supremacy, Born Ultimatum and all that. So that's 3 championships he's won. Does that make it a Born trilogy? Sorry, Billy. I couldn't resist that, Billy. Sorry. Born trilogy. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I do think, all things considered, he's had a great race. Really great race. Yeah, that's exactly why, Nikos. No doubt we'll see the Pit Bits video at some point. Won't be tonight, it'll be too shattered. Chris's driver of the year, driver of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. Been awesome. Absolutely awesome. I was saying before, Andrew, as well, these last few races you've been racing with, I don't know what you've been on, but my word, have you improved. Certainly the last races I've been involved with you, or I've been streaming, you've been on another level. So I don't know if you've changed your equipment or something's come together, but you've been awesome, mate. You're going to be missed while you're in storage. It'd be great to get you back on track. Right, we will now go on board. Andy Lees has just binned it. We'll go on board with Chris Bourne now. He's on the final lap. Absolutely, Derek. Round of applause for all those who finished the race. He's still putting the power down and he's still razzing it. Love this little section here. This is brilliant, this little section. I love this. The way the car, you feel the weight of the car shift from side to side. It's absolutely brilliant, this bit. And then hugging the wall here and feel your wheel go heavy as you're trying to turn to the left and it tries to pull you to the right. It's brilliant. So this is, oh, that car's looking rather battered, Terry's. So this will be, and Chris is still to race on Friday, the Lamborghini ST, but he doesn't need to finish that one. He doesn't even have to race, and he's won that one as well. So that's, he's done the Ginetta, he's done the Porsche, and he's done the Lambo. So there's your Bourne trilogy. And there's his usual windscreen wipers going on, and he will flash his lights over the line, as usual. What a great guy. He's been faultless. Absolutely faultless all season. There's the lights. Let's go with Mr. Gerard. Yeah, Don. Funny you should say that, Andrew, about the braking. I've gained loads of speed in the last few weeks because I've changed my braking and the way I brake, and I was telling Jeremy about it before, and it's made a massive difference to my performance. And the fact that I'm be getting some hydraulic pedals next as well should be even better. Can't wait. And there comes Mr. Gerard. Round of applause for Mr. Gerard. Well done. Driver of the day, fully deserved. And then third and final PWS car. So his second PWS car, but in third place, we have Mark Christopher, who kept it on the island. He did have a bit of an off on the grass, but actually didn't damage his car too much. And there is our podium. Well done, guys. And Eric's coming over. He'll be coming round the mountain when he comes. I'm sure that's not an Australian one. It is. That's it, Nikos. Never give in. Never, ever give in. Eric there with a fantastic 4th place. Don't matter how many finished 4th. You've got to be pleased with that. Steve Howells, who is going to claim, I believe, 3rd place in the Porsche Cup. If my maths are right, Christopher 2nd, Howells 3rd. As they've all finished behind Chris, Hugh Morris is classified, Andreas is classified. The only one who's not yet classified is Terry Howard because he was in front of Chris. So Terry is the last car to cross the line. Manuel is in the pits with a rather battered Porsche, as you can see there. So his pit crew are going to be really disappointed with him because that's his 2nd visit to the pits. But credit to them all. I just want to thank everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, and I will catch you at the next race. Take care all. Goodbye.